I remember before we left Alaska, I think was it the beginning of 2021? 22. Okay, so 21 would have made this even more crazy because of 2020. But as you know, 2021 was a crazy year too. COVID just kept things crazy for a while. And it was the end of 2021, just a really another really hard year for the church, and we were thinking 2022 is going to be the year, right? And in Alaska, we started it off with the wind snowstorm of snowstorms. And it was days. People went without power for days. It was freezing, I think minus 30. It was just, the winds were flipping over semi trucks. My wife sent a video on her way to work. It was like semi truck here, vehicle here, just everything. It was just upside down. It was the first time the church I was a part of had to cancel church. We couldn't have church that Sunday. Literally, the parking lot of our church was glare ice, and there were 70-mile-an-hour winds or 90. No, there was like close to 100-mile-an-hour winds. It was like nothing before. And but during this time, of course, I didn't have to work. I didn't have to show up for work because you couldn't get to the church. You couldn't get to work. And so we had some time off, and I got to go out in this windstorm because my wife had recently bought me some ice cleats. And I had recently bought me some tools to experience life in Alaska better, because I had lived there for 30 years and didn't know how to do Alaska right till I married this wonderful woman. I had these things called Ghost Whisperer pants, and they were like shiny fabric with, kind of down or something in them, synthetic, whatever it was. I had this really warm coat and all that. And so while everybody in the valley and around is hunkered down, I am out in winter wonderland, fierce snow, fierce wind, but it was so cool. It was majestic. I was the only one out there with my dog. And I got a video of that, but I didn't put it on because I was being real silly in it, and it was too silly for Sunday. It was perfect for a youth group. But it shows me in my stuff, my video, and I was trying to get my buddy to start shopping at this store called All Seasons so that he would get ready for Alaska. It was the pastor that had just recently moved to Alaska, and I was like, you got to get geared up, man. This is how you do it. And, but I was so filled with joy because I got to do what nobody else was doing, because I was equipped. I was equipped for Alaska. And so this extreme place became extremely awesome for me. And then we moved here. 30 years, and I finally get all geared up to know how to do Alaska. But luckily I don't have to worry, and I sold most of that gear before we came. And I know you can't relate to that because we have the best weather in the world, the most awesome climate. But here's something. How about when COVID happened and we ran out of toilet paper? And I'm sure you guys got hit hard while that was happening with groceries and stuff. Maybe not. I bet you people in the big city really were having trouble. But do you remember when you finally got that box of toilet paper and you were stocked? And you got some groceries and you're like, okay, we're going to weather the storm. We're going to get through this thing. That feeling was because you were equipped. You were equipped for what was possibly coming down the pipe. We didn't know. We didn't know how long stores would be empty and all that. But once you had your stuff, right, that feeling of, okay, we're going to make it. We got this. God's word, knowing God's word, equips us for life on earth. This harsh life on earth. When I learned how to dress for extreme Alaska became really cool. When our house had toilet paper in it, our house became safe again. When we have God's word equipping us, we are equipped for a life in a very harsh world. It can be really hard to navigate these waters. We got to be equipped. And of course, we do this by His grace and in His strength alone.